What's up, nerds? Welcome to Cool Nerd Reviews. I'm Steve Trezza.
Scott Burnett.
Ed Good.
And this is our full spoiler review of Mad Max Fury Road. So, what did we think?
It was, click this link and you'll see what we thought about it. It's our spoiler review.
It was great. I mean, you know, it was true to Mad Max. It was
a high-speed thrill chase.
It was.
Then it never let off the gas. It was pretty full throttle. Cars.
It was great. I loved it. I thought it was really good. It was very, very campy, but every Mad Max movie is.
Right.
Yeah.
Throughout. I mean, they didn't give you any backstory on anything.
None. Even like in the beginning, it's like Tom Hardy's like, you see he's got like these tortured visions. It's like, you couldn't save us.
Yeah.
You couldn't save us, Max. They really didn't explain those at all. Like, no.
Yeah.
So one thing, and also like they had a very little like I don't remember if it was dialogue.
Yeah, it was
wording.
It was dialogue in the beginning.
In the beginning, where they're just like
Shit
you know,
blew up.
Yeah, you know, the world. Now warlords fight over gasoline. It's like, okay, that's all I needed to know. Let's watch some badass.
But throughout the whole movie, they're like, gasoline's so precious. They use that shit. Like, I think they're called gasoline, and they might be talking about water.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Because you drink water, guzzle, and water kind of fuels your body.
Yeah.
Gasoline.
Yeah.
They might have been talking about water.
Going back though, if you did watch the other Mad Max movies, you would kind of know where it is, and it's in this barren wasteland. So you didn't really need that.
Right.
Beginning.
And that's why I love the fact
So you're
that
going to get a lot of girls that go in this who are like, Tom Hardy is a hot piece of pie.
and they're like,
and then they're going to be like, what the fuck is this movie I'm watching?
This is like a movie made for men. It is the manliest movie ever because it's just full of explosions and car chases and hot women and heavy metal and awesomeness.
But, I mean, you know,
Preach, Ed.
Charlize Theron really she really drives the movie.
She was.
Okay? And you know, Scott said in the spoiler-free review that it's a very feminist movie, which I agree because
it's very women empowering.
It was.
They take no shit.
Yep.
They kick a lot of ass. And you could even make the argument that Charlize Theron was the main character.
Yeah,
in this movie.
I absolutely agree.
Mad Max had like 15 lines in this
The
whole
most
movie.
Maybe,
Grunts.
if that even.
The
Grunts
most
the whole time.
he spoke was when like he lets them go off, and then he decides, I have a better plan, and like he tells them his plan.
That's his longest.
That's as long. It's like before it's like.
Yeah. Like,
like-
so he's got this like claw thing on his face, is a muzzle, because in the beginning they're like chasing down the war rig. So it starts off, Charlize Theron is like, they're supposed to get gasoline from Gastown and bullets from the bullet farm. And she goes off-road because she's trying to go back to her hometown, the Green Place, which is basically, it's a land of many mothers. Whatever, that's the story, that's the extent of it. And she's leaving this big, I don't even know the villain's name. So he impregnates all the women to make this master army, but everybody's got an irradiated uterus, so these like fucked up, sick kids are coming out. They call them war boys, they have a half-life, yada yada yada.
Max is captured in the opening scene.
Yeah.
Alright, so you find out because these war boys have half-lives, they need blood transfusions. And it's kind of like just apparent because they hook people that they kidnap up use them, and they call them blood bags, and that's what they use for the blood transfusions.
Yep.
Which, if you want to get into the science of it, if you're not the same blood type as
they said he was a universal donor.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
All right then. Oh yeah. Okay. I remember when they're tattooing him. That's right.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
I was sitting through halfway through the movie, I was like, who the fuck his name is Knox.
Nux.
Nux, whatever, same thing.
Yeah.
And he's the war boy that Max was his blood bag, and they kind of like fall away from the war party or whatever, and he kind of turns into a good guy. And
He turns into a good guy at the end.
Yeah. He redeems himself.
Yeah. So I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Turns out it's Nick Holt, who plays the zombie in Warm Bodies, and he plays Beast in the new X-Men movie. And I was like, this poor son of a bitch can't get a chance to play himself.
Yep.
Like, this kid can't play a dang human. He's like this dude with a half-life. He's a blue guy, and he's a zombie. And the War Boys are actually really cool in this movie, so it's not that bad.
Well, what I really liked was they went back with the whole like religious undertones.
Yeah.
And how like.
But it's like Norse mythology.
Yeah, it's like Norse mythology, and like when they go to sacrifice themselves, They like shout to everybody. They spray like chrome spray paint on their face.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they start yelling, "Witness me!"
Yeah.
And they just like
Yeah.
go like it's pretty much.
That's cool. They let you kind of like make up your own story for it,
Yeah.
kind of like because they don't hand feed you shit. I always thought it was because everything's real brown, and it's like if you're going to die or going to Valhalla, the only shiny thing in the
Mhm.
world is this chrome paint.
Mhm.
Everything else is like all rusty and shitty. So that's what you
Yeah.
getting nice for Jesus
Yeah.
I guess.
For the Jesus.
or Norse Jesus.
Thor.
Yeah.
No, it was just I don't know. It was everything.
A summer movie should be.
Yeah.
It was everything I thought it was going to be. Let's put it that
Yeah.
way. It did not disappoint.
Basically, it ends with
And
they
it
just
was
ride.
shot really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The
The
one.
type of movie that it was.
Can we talk about the guitar guy?
I love the guitar guy.
Let's talk about the guitar guy.
So basically, they're chasing the war rig. This movie is basically a chase scene, and then they stop and go back.
and then they chase them back.
Yeah. So anyway,
It's just one giant car chase. The entire movie.
in the war party that's chasing them. It's three war parties. It's the main guy, it's the main villain. It's the war party from Gastown, and
And
the war party from the Bullet Farm, and they're all family. They're all like inbred.
Yeah.
So one of the cars in this war party is basically a big car with a bunch of speakers on it, and there's this chained war boy that plays a guitar that spits fire. Right? And then instead of music,
And
music
behind him is like 4 people just banging on
On
drums.
Yeah. So instead of music being put into this movie, the chase scene music is provided by a car in the chase.
Yeah.
And it's great because there's this one part
And it's
where-
all metal. It's
Yeah.
all just
It's
like.
all like
dun, dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun.
Yeah, it's basically that riff the entire time. And there's one part where they're all sitting around, the war party are sitting around bored because they lose Max and Charlize Theron's character. And that's when Mad Max is like, we just go back and we steal the Citadel. That's where plants can grow, that's where water is, instead of driving out this way into the salt. So they drive back and they drive past the war party that's just like hanging around. And then they kind of like all pop up. And then the guitar guy's like the second guy to notice it. And he just goes, huh? And he just hops on and just starts playing again. Like that's his purpose in life is to play this flamethrower guitar. It's so good. It looks like it's out of Brutal Legend.
Yeah,
Almost.
it did look like it was.
Yeah, it looks like a
Brutal
mixture of like
Legend.
Brutal Legend and like Borderlands.
Yeah, it's kind of like The Hills Have Eyes meets Brutal Legend, if you want to think about it.
Yep.
And there's a lot of cool weapons. They have these like slingshot things that go from over to they look
They're like
pendulums.
seesaw things.
Yeah, it's basically the ultimate kidnapping device because they
Yeah.
just like go into the car and they're like yoink, and they just fly back.
They grabbed the women.
Yeah.
Who- That was Lenny Kravitz's daughter, right?
Was it?
I think so.
Oh, well, I know the first pregnant one was
She was the chick from
Transformers 3.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like, oh man, she's gonna survive.
She's a
and be,
Victoria's Secret model.
Yeah, I was like, she's gonna survive and be the love interest for Max because they were hitting it off, and then she flew right off a rig and underneath a car.
Oh yeah, they ran her over.
Yep,
Yeah.
and then they like filleted the baby out, and it was the only perfect baby, but it was dead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had a brother,
yeah.
and he was perfect.
And it's funny because they're either like really well built and have like organ issues, or it's like that midget guy.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
looked in the fucking the binoculars.
Yeah.
Oh man, they like imagine casting for that.
Dude.
It's like, oh.
Weird ass people
Yeah.
wanted.
No, but like
Okay.
for the little guy, it's just a bunch of midgets. It's like a gross midget audition. Like,
Dude, weirdest part of the movie though, the mother's milk.
Yeah.
I'd make an argument that the guy from Gastown was weird that had his nipples cut out and the big diabetes feet. He was just playing with his, he's playing with his nipples the whole time.
Yeah, that's true.
And the nose.
Yep, and he used his big feet to jam the gas pedal down at the end. Oh, it was,
Oh
it was
my
really
God.
good.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
It was
and
great.
it was a long movie, but it didn't feel long.
I
It did
liked
not
the
feel long.
well, that's because it was action packed from start to finish. I liked when they went into the into like the storm, into the cloud.
Yeah.
Oh, the big lightning sandstorm tornado.
Sandstorm, yeah.
That was the most metal storm.
that was crazy.
Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun.
That was really good.
I just did a little bit of Jaws there, my bad.
Definitely if you liked the old Mad Max movies, you'll love this.
Go
movie.
in, shut your brain off, buy a $15 pub of popcorn. My brain shut off. Tub of popcorn and enjoy it. It's a great summer movie. You
Yeah.
don't have to pay attention. You just watch it. And your
Yeah.
brain fires off
Yeah.
and you
It's
drool
just
a
action,
little bit.
things
Yeah.
blowing up and fast cars.
Yeah.
Not real, maybe not fast.
Scantily clad pregnant
Badass
women,
cars.
if you're into
Yeah.
that
but, and
sort of thing.
scantily. Well, they're not all pregnant.
Oh, two of them are.
Yeah,
They're
the
all-
one you can't tell.
Yeah.
That redhead was
And even the girl who was pregnant was hot.
Yeah, well, she was fake pregnant. No one stays that
Well,
skinny
duh,
and
fake
only
pregnant.
gets fat in the stomach. But that redhead, the redheaded
Oof.
sex
Yeah.
life, She
Yeah.
did it for me.
They were
She
all.
had like these redhead dread things going on.
Yeah, it was like
man.
the fake red.
I don't know. They were all pretty good looking. It was just like the hot, untouchable women.
Yeah.
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 I think they were the only. Oh no, there was like some
No,
gross
there
old
was all
women.
gross women, but like
Yeah.
those were like the untouchable ones.
Yeah, it was all the one guy's wife.
And I like how the main villain, he's kind of fat, but his armor has abs on it.
Yeah, I noticed that
And I like how they kill him too, because he's got this like weird breathing apparatus on his back, and he's got a mask attached to it, and there's a chain on it, and one of the girls kills him. Like, they're the most empowered
So-
characters. They throw it on the wheel well. Wheel catches it, and it pulls his bottom part of his face
He
off.
like rips his jaw in half
It's
too.
Furiosa's arm.
What?
Oh yeah,
It's
that's right.
Furiosa's arm that that rips it off.
Really?
Because yeah, it's the like it grabs the chain or whatever or the mask and she disconnects her arm and that's what gets.
I didn't
on
even
the
see
wheel
that.
well.
Oh,
When
right,
you see
yeah.
it afterwards, she doesn't.
It's
have
hard
an
to
arm.
watch in 3D. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
I dig 3D. He
Yeah.
doesn't like 3D.
Real D3Ds. After I saw Avengers in IMAX, I was like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Real D3Ds is like cheap,
Yeah.
cheesy.
But yeah, no, it was.
It's
It
not
was just
shock
ridiculous.
value.
It was just ridiculous. Absolutely
It
ridiculous.
was good. Check it out. Check out. We're gonna be doing a lot of other movie reviews. Check out our show reviews and check out just all of our other segments.
If you clicked on this because you're like, man, I like Mad Max, we do a lot of other stuff. We do a lot of video game stuff. We do a lot of nerd news. We review Arrow, Flash, Game of Thrones, all that good stuff. So if you like that, click on our back catalog, give us an old like, give us an old subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Cool Nerd Show, and check us out on Twitter @Cool Nerd Show.
And we'll see you on our other shows.
See you.